The information presented in this virtual exercise program is current as of June 2022. This programming may involve diverse exercise activities encompassing a range of physical demands. Although the programming is being led by certified practitioners in the respective disciplines, you agree that you are voluntarily accepting the risks of physical activity that may be particular to your individual health and fitness circumstances, and you agree that we will not be held liable for these risks or any injuries or damages arising therefrom. Further, we are unable to monitor your health status during the programming or call for medical attention on your behalf. By participating, you warrant that you are physically capable of performing the activities of the particular program and that you will cease the activities should you begin to feel unwell at any time. The information provided by the exercise program leaders is not intended to be medical advice or personal training. We recommend that each participant discuss their medical circumstances and the programming with their physician.
Welcome to the Kidney Wellness Hub. I am so glad you could join us today. My name is Brenda Brown, and today's class is a Gentle Hatha Class. It is designed for anybody at any time in any ability. So I'd just like you to come into any comfortable seat for you. It does not have to be cross-legged. You can sit like this if this is most comfortable for you, or you can sit like this, or you can sit with your legs in front of you. Whichever is comfortable for you. Sit with a block underneath you, or a pillow, or a blanket. Again, this class is for you, so please make sure that you sit in whichever way is most comfortable for you. This seat is Sukhasana, or easy seat, and so this is the seat that I am going to take this morning, or today. Just find a gentle, easy breath. Spine is tall and long. Have your hands either closed on your knees or gently in front of you if you want to feel grounded, or up if you want to find energy. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears and find a focal point in front of you, or close your eyes if that is more comfortable for you. And then just inhale and become aware of your breath. Today's busy world, we don't even realize we take our breath for granted. We think that, well, breathing is just one of those things that we do naturally, when really we breathe normally from here up in our lungs, or in the top of our chest. When our healthy part of our breathing, it really comes down from inside our diaphragm. So try and really become aware of where you're breathing in your body right now. Is it up here, or is it down in your belly? And just find where your breath is sitting in your body right now. Don't control it in any way, just pay attention and listen to it. And as you're feeling your breath flowing through your body, allow your knees and your bottom half of your body just become heavier into the earth. At the same time, allow your crown to become lighter and rise towards the sky. And then your spine become longer. And if your eyes were closed, just gently open them. We're going to take our left hand and move it towards our right knee. Take our right hand and move it just behind your right hip. And we're going to slowly twist to the right. Always following, our head is in line with the center of our body. Don't twist it away from our body. We're going to slowly, every time that we exhale, just twist a little bit deeper to the right. The intention is that we're moving our shoulders towards the right. Every exhale gets us a little bit more towards the right, so that our head is following towards our right shoulder. And again, just feeling that sensation of that twist with each exhale, perhaps going a little bit deeper, but not to the point of pain. And on your next inhale, just allow yourself to gently come back to release to center. And then we'll take our right hand to our left knee, our left hand behind our hip, our left hip. And again, we'll do this just as we did on the other side, slowly allowing ourselves to twist towards the left. With each exhale, allowing ourselves to just twist a little bit deeper into that left side, keeping our spine long and allowing ourselves to just slowly, gently twist into that left side. And you'll notice that each side might be a little bit, more different than the other. Whether it's, you've got more creaks or more issues on one side versus the other. Just allow your breath to breathe into those. Get rid of some of those knots and just trying to keep your spine long, your neck long, crown reaching towards sky. And the intention is to reach towards the left side of your shoulder. You may not get there right away. It might take you, a few practices towards getting there. Be kind to your body. On your next inhale, release to center. Roll your shoulders back and down your spine. Then we're going to do a couple of seated circles. So we're going to start on our left side. So go as deep as your body will allow you to go. So we're going to lean our belly from our waist, not from our upper back. So we're not going to hunch over into this circle at all. We're going to lean from our waist. So that means if you need to take your legs out a little bit further to make this more comfortable, then do that. So we're going to lean into our left-hand side and go forward into a circle and then come all the way back and round into our belly. So we're coming back and then making a big circle with our body, starting on the left-hand side. So you can inhale to the front and exhale to the back. Go as deep, like I said, as you want to, or this may be as high as you go. Just moving your body around as comfortable as you need, and you can go as slow as you want, as deep as you need, as much as your body needs to feel it today. Getting into all those creaks and crannies, all those joints, lubricating them. On your next round, coming up through the center, we'll stop, roll our shoulders back, and then go to the right-hand side. We'll switch our circles. Coming all the way through the back, and then coming through the front. Making sure that we're making those big circles as far as you can. Just making sure that we're waking everything up. Moving those joints around that don't get moved a lot. Feeling it in your hips, feeling it in your waist, feeling it in your shoulders. Okay, come back up to seating. Now we're going to come forward onto our hands and knees into tabletop position. So we want to take your hands, plant them firmly into the earth or into the mat, using all four corners in the palm of each hand, so that and then make sure that your wrist is stacked firmly underneath your shoulders. So you've got a strong base and you're pushing away from the earth or away from the mat, and that your pads of your fingers are gripping into the mat. This will help protect your wrist from any injuries. And your knees are stacked underneath your hips, and you can have your toes tucked or untucked. It's really a personal preference, it doesn't matter. I prefer my toes tucked. It just gives me a little bit more stability and balance that way. So this is a neutral tabletop position. Your back is long. So from tabletop, we're going to do a couple of rounds of CatCow. CatCow helps waken up our spine or lubricate our spine. So on an inhale, we allow our belly to come towards the earth and our neck to come forward. This is cow. But you're still maintaining the integrity in your arms. You're not dumping into your shoulders. Allow you're continuing to push away from the mat, and you're keeping that strength in your arms and your shoulders. You're only allowing your belly to come forward and your spine to move forward. On your exhale, you're pushing away so that your spine comes up into a hunched position like a Halloween cat. So you're pushing up on your exhale. And you can hold this for a couple of breaths if this is what you need in order to give that stretch between your upper shoulder blades. So inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Do a couple of rounds of this at your own pace with your own breath. Just waking up that spine and your lower back, your upper shoulder blades. You can add some movement to this if you want by moving your hips from side to side. It's just a nice way to lubricate the spine and get it ready for the rest of your practice. On your next exhale, come to a neutral position, tabletop. We're going to take our left leg out straight behind us. First of all, just find that position with your toes, with the heel over your toe pads. And then I want you to lift it up, straight behind you. Take your left arm straight out in front of you. Make sure you're hugging belly to spine so you've got a strong core. Then we're going to take our knee underneath our belly to meet our elbow. And then release it in front of us again. Strong. Take a Dristi's point in front of you so you can keep that focal point. One more time, knee and elbow meet, and then place them down strong on the mat. We're going to try that on the other side. Left leg behind you. Lift it up strong. Engage that core so it's nice and strong, belly to spine. Take your right arm out in front of you. Make sure that you're keeping that belly to spine so you've got a nice strong core. And then let's meet elbow to knee right in the middle. Release. And then elbow to knee. And then meet it on the mat. Now, let's take our knees as wide as the mat. Toes touch behind us. Sit back onto your heels. All the way back, hands out in front of you. Allow your chest to melt into the ground. And allow your forehead to meet the mat. And then just melt into a wide-legged child's pose here. If your bottom doesn't come and meet all the way back, you can put a cushion between your bottom and your heels, or a rolled up towel, or a block, whatever's most comfortable for you. If your head doesn't meet the mat, you can always stack your your forearms, and put your forehead on your on your forearms. If I could only speak today and know my body parts, we'd all be good. Take a few really good long deep breaths here. Child's pose is always a really good pose to come back to at any time that you need to catch your breath, or if you just want to be able to calm your mind, get away from your monkey brain. Just allow yourself to melt into the mat. Release any tension from your body. Then we'll slowly come right back up to our hands. Come back into table where we were before. Tuck our toes underneath, and then we're going to push up into our hips and our legs into downward dog. Making sure that we're pushing with strength away with our hands away from the earth. Long arms, high hips, long spine, with the intention down the back of our legs with strength, trying to reach our heels towards the earth. So it's a push and pull. Raise your right leg up into the sky, bend your knee, and then turn it towards the side of your long side of your mat. And then turn it back down, your knee back down towards the mat, and then we're going to step it forward towards our hands. And if it needs a little bit of help to get it there, that's okay. Release that left knee down to the earth. So you find yourself in a runner's lunge. On your next inhale, rise torso so that shoulders are stacked above hips. Bring hands to waist, and then slowly release into that front leg and allow that hip to stretch as deeply as you need. If you need to back off a little bit, that's okay. Just back off a bit. And then on your next inhale, rise arms to sky. Inhale, hands to chest. And then we're just going to do a quick little twist here to the right. Inhale to release to center. Hands down to frame that front foot. Step back up with that back leg, and then step that back leg to meet the front into a deep forward fold. So bend those front legs as deeply as you need to so that you can rest your chest on those front thighs as much as you need. This is your first forward fold of this practice. You don't have to have your legs straight. And then on your inhale, hands to shins. And then make sure that for your halfway rise, that your neck is in line with your spine, so it's not hanging down or sticking up. And then release that to forward fold. And then on your next inhale, let's do wide swan all the way up. Hands reach high to sky, palms touch, down through heart center. Roll shoulders back, away from ears. Hands release down to sides, into Tadasana or mountain pose. In mountain pose, we have very strong feet that are rooted into the ground. All four corners of our feet are rooted into the ground. Strong legs up through hips. Into strong pelvis is slightly tipped or tilted forward, but not swayed back. We want to make sure that we're just tilting slightly forward, that belly is hugged to spine, and that we roll our shoulders back away from our ears, and then arms are engaged and strong. Everything in mountain pose, all your muscles are working. Take a deep breath here. Okay, so one of the things we want to try here now is a balance pose. Balance poses are something that we should really work on, especially as we get older and we start to lose our balance. And so one thing I'd like us to work on right now is tree pose. So tree pose is where we want, I want you to take your right foot, and very much like what we just did in grounding down in a Tadasana, we're going to root down in our right leg. So all four corners of that right foot, making sure that we're really strong all the way into the right leg, through the calf, through that upper thigh and hamstring. And then we're going to make sure that we're firm in through our core. And then your tree could be just holding here, where you have your left foot still grounded to some degree on the earth, or it could be on your shin, or it can be up into your thigh. So wherever that tree position looks like for you, that's where I want you to be able to hold the tree position and keep that hip open. It's just keeping that hip position open for you. And then we can find our hand position, whether it's at heart center or open like a tree. Today I'm going to open like a tree because trees move in the wind. And so we're going to have a little bit of movement in our tree today. And breathing and keeping a focal point that is not moving in front of you, it's a really good idea. So if you're doing your practice in front of a window with moving cars, I suggest you don't look at a moving car when you're trying to do any balance poses. Make sure you find a focal point that is not moving. So a spot on the floor, usually about 3 to 6 feet in front of you, not a moving flag that's moving in the wind, but anything that isn't moving is a good idea for a focal point. Now on your next inhale, bring that leg out in front of you, and then we'll slowly release it down to meet the other. And then bring your arms down through front center, and then shake it all out, because we're going to do it on the other side. So ground and root down your left foot. All four corners of that left foot need to be really rooted into the mat. Make sure you feel that strength coming up through that left leg, in through the left hip, in through your core. And then again, it could be completely different feeling on this side. It may not come as high. I know when I first started practicing tree, I couldn't get this side up anywhere near, and it's always more wobbly than the other. And then find that position that you want with your arms. And always remember to breathe. Your breath is your friend in any practice. And if you fall out of it, just come back in. It's that practice of trying and trying again. Now lift that knee right back out in front of you as high as you can, and slowly release it down to meet the other. And give it a shake. Now take a big shake out your shoulders. Inhale, hands to heart, to sky. Palms touch all the way down through the center. And then we're going to step back with our right leg. And we're going to lower the right leg down to right lunge. Take a big inhale here in our runner's lunge. And on your next inhale, come on up, hands to waist. Find that railroad track between the two legs. Lean a little bit more into the front leg till you find that really comfortable stretch in that right hip flexor, as deep as you might want to go, or back off. It's really up to where you want to find that stretch. Again, this is your practice. And then once you've found that comfortable balance and position where you want to be, we inhale our arms to sky. Or if your shoulders are bugging you or not in a good position, not feeling well, just keep them down in front of you in heart center. And wobbling in yoga is perfectly normal. Means you're working. Hands back down to heart center. Release them down in front, but on either side of your front foot. Raise that back foot up, and then take your front foot to meet the back in downward dog. Remembering always to push away from the earth and reach high with your hips into the sky. Now we're going to walk our hands backwards to meet our feet. Now I want you to walk your feet out slightly. Have your toes pointing towards the corner of your mat as you slowly ragdoll yourself back up and roll your shoulders up. Now we're going to take our hands to our hips and our knees out, and we're going to come down to a squat. This is called malasana or frog squat. And you're going to just slowly come down into your squat. Now, if the squat is uncomfortable for you and you can't bring your bottom all the way down and it doesn't come tuck all the way down, you can take a block like the one I've got here, or a book, or a pillow, and you can sit it underneath you at whatever height that might be, so you can just sit on it instead. Okay, so rather than, and it'll give you the support that you need. If that's something you need, a book will work, a block will work, a pillow will work, a bolster will work. But the idea is to just get down as far as is comfortable for you and not have to force it down. And then bring your elbows into the inside of your knees, but you're not pushing out with your elbows, you're pushing your knees in. And then the restriction is your elbows are pushing against the knees, but your knees have to push in on the elbows. Your spine is long, neck is long, chin is parallel, not pointing up and not pointing down. Keeping the spine long at all times. Bring your hands down in front of you, one in front, one behind, then bring them both behind, and then we'll just bring our bottom to the floor. Scoot yourselves around onto where you need to get onto your back on your mat. So we're now on the back, we're sitting on our mats. I'd like you to slowly get down onto your back on your mat. And we're going to move in a way that we now have our right leg is firmly on the foot is on the mat. We're going to take our left leg with our left knee or our left foot over onto the right knee. So it's almost making a figure four position in this position. So my left foot is resting. It's not putting any pressure on it. It's just resting on my right knee. Then I'm going to take my two hands and I'm going to stick them behind that right knee. My neck and my back are going to stay on the mat. I'm not going to lift them up towards it. But I am going to pull gently that knee towards me. So I should be feeling this in my hip and or my thighs. Keeping both feet flexed and pointing up towards the sky. So that all the muscles are still being engaged and are still being worked. And if you want to add a little bit more effort in this, you can take the elbow and add a little bit more restriction against your left knee. Or not necessarily your knee, but against your thigh, by adding a little bit of resistance as you're pushing and pulling. And again, you're just breathing into it and not wanting to feel pain, just some sensation. And with each exhale, just feeling a little bit more, maybe going a little bit deeper. Okay, you can release that to the ground. We're going to switch this over. So put your left foot on the ground, take your right foot across and rest it on your left knee. And you're going to feel the difference from one side to the other. Every side feels different. Then lift it up and put your hands behind that left thigh. And then pull it slowly and gently towards you, flexing both feet. And then adding the resistance, if you need to, against the other knee or other leg. As you gently pull it towards you. Now you can release that. And now bring both heels closer to your bottom. Keep the knees parallel to each other. Put your hands down beside each side. And on an inhale, we're going to lift our hips and our bottom up towards sky into bridge pose. But leaving your shoulders on the mat. So don't have your shoulders leave the mat. Just only lift the pelvis and the hips up to sky. So on your inhale, we raise to sky. Keeping the knees and the legs parallel, don't let them splay out. You have to keep that control of them. So you keep that strength and integrity in your legs. And again, with every inhale, you can go a little bit higher. And then on your exhale, just release with control. So you're going to release slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, starting with the top, all the way down, so that the last part to be able to reach the mat should be your lower back and your bottom. And lift both knees up, give them a big hug. Rock from side to side, give them a big squeeze. take your legs, your feet out as wide as the mat, and allow your knees to fall in gently to each other. And just rest here. This is rested butterfly. It's a good counter pose to bridge. Take a couple of deep breaths here. On your next inhale, allow your legs to both fall to the left. Arms out wide to T. And then if it's comfortable for your neck to do so, you can lick to the right. If not, just look straight up to sky or close your eyes. And just allow your legs to fall gently. Release as much as possible to the left. Next inhale, bring your neck back to neutral and your knees back to neutral. Still keeping the feet wide as your mat. Release them back to the right side on your next exhale. And then again, if it's in your neck ability to do so, you can look to the left. Inhale your neck to neutral and your knees to neutral. Give them any last movement that they might need before you get ready for your Shavasana. So if you need some twisting, some rolling around in your lower back, if you need to give them another hug or a squeeze, if you need to put some socks on or get a cushion to get ready for your Shavasana, whatever that might be to get yourself as comfortable as possible. Shavasana is the last pose of the day of the practice, and it's one of the most important. It's where we allow ourselves to just release into the mat and surrender ourselves to the earth and to thank ourselves for the practice that we've given ourselves in our body and our mind. So grab your blankets, grab your socks, grab whatever it is that you need, your cushions, and then just allow yourselves to get into corpse pose or Shavasana pose, and allow your arms to come loose and away from your body, your legs to become long. Let go of any breathing or any practice that you're having and get comfortable. And just allow yourself to melt and release your whole body so that it melts into the earth. You take a deep inhale, wiggle your fingers and toes. Start bringing some movement back into your body, your awareness back into your body. Take it maybe your arms above your head. Take a big morning stretch. Then roll to one side or the other, whichever is most comfortable for you, into the fetal position. Take another big deep inhale here. And then use your top arm to help push you up into a comfortable seated position. And we'll meet there, whatever that seated position looks like for you. I hope you enjoyed today's Gentle Hatha class. Thanks again for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you back here at the Kidney Wellness Hub soon. don't forget to take the short wellness survey to help us continue to bring you value-added content. Namaste.
This video is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation of Canada, BC and Yukon branch. Please remember to like and subscribe. You can continue to watch another video or return to the Kidney Foundation Wellness Hub by clicking on the direct link in the description box below. If you would take a moment to fill out our short survey found below as well, we would greatly appreciate your input. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.